Are you in the market for a new or used vehicle? Look no further than Metro Ford. We have an incredible selection of F-150s, Explorers, Broncos, and so much more. Whether you're looking for a rugged truck for the job site or a family-friendly SUV, our expert team is here to help you find the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle and budget. And with our streamlined financing process, getting behind the wheel of your dream car has never been easier. Stop by today and experience the Metro Ford difference. We're conveniently located at 1000 Barnes Crossing Road in Tupelo. Online at MetroFordAutoSales.com. That's MetroFordAutoSales.com.
Coach, talk about, I tell you what, big win last week. Huge win. We talked about it the week before, and that was a huge win. I know tonight we got a big matchup against a rival. But before we start talking about tonight, let's go ahead and let's revisit last week at Holmes and just talk briefly about that. Tell us about last week and that big win down in Goodman.
We started off slow in the first quarter, and then I watched the team. We grew up last week, and those guys, they came together. They calmed down a little bit, and after they calmed down, we pretty much took over the game. And to watch them, we always talk about fight through adversity. They proved that we do it. We have done it twice this year, so to see them do that, I was very proud of the guys.
No doubt about it, Coach. And let's be honest. We always try to be honest in these talks. 14-0 first quarter. Mm-hmm. We were being outplayed. And yes, there was some questionable calls by the officials that Brad and I might have mentioned during the broadcast that we didn't appreciate or agree with as part of football. In the first quarter, 14-0, and it wasn't looking good. But you reacted. We adjusted in the second quarter. I know you really adjusted at halftime, but we controlled the second quarter and then really turned it on third and fourth quarter. How do we overcome that 14-0 start?
Well, the biggest thing is getting the guys to calm down. You know, it's easy to start pointing fingers, but if everybody just do their job, and that was the biggest thing I told the coaches as well as the players, everybody calm down and just do your job, and let's just see what happens. And that's what they did. We got at halftime. We made a little adjustments, but the biggest thing was we had to just play fast, and that's what we started doing.
Yeah, it was big. I know they got 28 points at the end of the night. If I'm not mistaken. 21 of those was in the first quarter or the first half.
Yes, sir. First quarter.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So they only got 7, and that was that was a long pass, and I know it was a missed tackle type situation there on the edge. But that's all they scored, and from the second quarter basically on, and that's huge. I mean, that's huge of your defense. You know, you give up that 21 in the first quarter, but that defense responded.
They did. The biggest thing is we knew that offense was going to score a lot of points, and we knew the challenge going into that night. Our DBs, we told them, you have to play well. That team was averaging almost 500 yards a game. So for our corners and safeties to calm down and just start making plays, even that play in the second half, he was going for the interception. If he had just, made the tackle, they probably wouldn't have scored 7. So he was trying to make a play. And, we said at halftime, who is going to be that guy to make the play? And those guys, the defensive line started getting back there to the quarterback, and that caused problems. And I'm happy they did.
Well, I think you just said it. You said at halftime you asked who was going to be that guy. Talk about Caden Holiday coming out, opening up the second half, and returning that kickoff for a touchdown.
The crazy thing about it, we had set it up for Marcellus to get the ball. And Marcellus, he's not selfish. He told Kalen, get right there. And Caden said, I'm going to take this to the house. And, everybody, he didn't think nothing of it. And for him to do that, it showed that he's not selfish. He's one of our young guys. He's waiting in line to play running back. He has 2 older guys in front of him. So the first opportunity he got, he scored a touchdown, and that says a lot about him. So what we did this week, we put him in the offense a little bit. So we're showing players that hard work do pay off.
And that's great because we mentioned during the game, and Caden has played well this year, but he's young.
Yes, sir.
As you mentioned, he's got 2 or 3 running backs in front of him, but you got him still concentrating on the game, being important in the special teams. So proud of him. And, if you look at the depth chart, he's the 4th-team tailback. Let's be honest.
Yes, sir.
But he was ready and did a great job. He returned the kick. And then right after that, Brad's when they hit that long pass, then we're down 2 scores again in the third quarter. So, you can't rest and relax. But ever since that long pass, we took over the game.
We did. And our offense, Dale J, I can't say enough about him. He's a great leader. And He's getting better each week. For him to do what he did in the second half, he calmed down. He wasn't making those mistakes he was making. And it wasn't bad mistakes in the first half. He just didn't see it. So once he calmed down, it started opening up for him. And our run game, Foster and Allen, they've been there all year for the rush over 200 yards. So if those guys just continue to do what they're doing, it's hard to stop us because our run game is really good. And now our passing game, Coles, he took over the game. He had 2 really big passes. So, you went from 2 dangerous receivers to now it's 3. So now we have a 6-headed monster that everybody got to get ready for.
Well, I like that. And again, big win. Anytime you can go on the road, especially get that big North Division win, and the MACCC is huge. And so, huge win right there. But we got tonight. And we are back at home tonight, back in Fulton, thank goodness. I love being in Fulton here at Eaton Field. But, you got that rival coming in, Coach. And no matter, this is one of those games, and it's kind of like we talk about, it's kind of like the Mississippi State Ole Miss game.
That's right.
You throw records, it doesn't matter what's going on with records, anything. You throw that out the window on this one. Mm-hmm. Because basically, each team comes in and they just, they got it. They've got that early momentum. They got that early enthusiasm that, hey, we're playing our rival. So talk about practice this week and leading up to this big game tonight.
Like you said, it's one of those games everybody is trying to pretty much knock each other out. And you throw the record books out. So this week with the offensive line and D-line, we had to go back to the basics. One thing we did, we go back to our key reads. We go back to our sled work. We just went back to the basics to get their bodies ready for what's they finna face tonight. So we had a good week of practice. The guys are fired up about it. But also, I don't want them to get too fired up. I want them to calm down and make sure we do it the right way. And that's something I have been saying all week. I want to win the game, but we're going to do it the right way.
We look forward to tonight, and we know tonight, as Brad mentioned, it's a rivalry game. Mm-hmm. And Northeast's been close. They've got 3 losses in the north side, but they were close in a couple of those ball games. Right. They're a good football team. And let's be honest, we all look at the records. Mm-hmm. Northeast knows if they can beat us tonight, it's going to hurt us in our playoff run. So I know that we're focused that way. There's another big game being played also today, but we got to focus on our game. Got to focus on tonight. The main thing we need to do, and I know you're telling the young man this, is don't worry about what's happening outside, guys. Mm-hmm. Concentrate on Northeast.
That's right, and I do it each week. I never worry about the opponent. I worry about who's going to walk out of our locker room. And I say it each week. This game, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have to get them motivated for this game. My biggest thing is just getting them calm and just making sure we do it the right way. So there is a big game being played early. If we win, a lot of things are happening in our favor. So our guys know how important this game is, how important this game is to me. So we're going to come out and we're going to be ready for it.
How do you talk to your players? I know last week and any football's it's a physical sport. So there's always going to be some emotions and some chippiness that goes into it. But when you come into this rival game too, on top of that, how do you talk to your players and approach them with knowing that, hey guys, yes, it's going to be physical. Yes, there's going to be a lot of physicality going on out there. There may be some things going on, but keep your emotions under control to where we don't get those extra penalties that we don't need or possible ejections.
In practice, I try to put them in the worst situation that I can on both sides of the ball. And it be sometimes like when we doing 7-on-7 or if we in our passing session, that it is a pass interference and I don't call it. Or, we make a play that I know we didn't score, but I call a touchdown because I want to see the reaction of my players. And then when they react, that's when I tell them, guys, this is what we can't do. You can't worry about what the referees do. And that's kind of what happened the other night. We had to calm them down. They was more worried about what the officials was doing instead of playing the game. So when they stopped worried about the officials, they started playing. So all week, you have to do it in practice because if you wait till the ball game, it's too late.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about that. And what do you see as far as the difference makers for Northeast? What are you emphasizing with the team here coming in preparation for Northeast, what they're going to see?
On the offensive side of the ball, we got to stop number 5. That's their running back. He's a really good player. And he runs hard, but he also catches the ball out the backfield. They're always trying to get the ball in his hands. Also, they have a quarterback that can run, so we got to make sure he don't get outside the pocket. On the defensive side, they have two really good linebackers that, they're always downhill. They're always being in the right places. So with the offensive line, when we double team, we got to make sure we find them. We got to identify where they're at, and we got to make sure we block them. Our running backs continue to do what they've been doing. We just run hard. We're going to tell the offensive line to get the leaning on them, and our receivers be ready when the big play comes. Yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned our offensive line. Brad and I talked about it last week when we finally got rolling in the second half and took that lead. We thought or knew, and it did happen this way, you started leaning on the running game. Both our running backs are running hard, run well. But our 5 offensive linemen, our 5 or 6 or 7 offensive linemen you rotate in there, they played extremely well and really took over the game in the fourth quarter.
They did, and one thing, I'm a former offensive lineman, and their names never get called unless they get called for holding. So
right.
If you notice, I always say something about the O-line because those guys have done a great job this year, and we're going to need them the rest of the way. So tonight, I always tell them, if we win the game, the offensive line took over the game. And you usually can see it in the second quarter and the third quarter. When that line of scrimmage started going backwards, that's when, our running back started saying, Coach, keep giving it to us, give it to us. So, and that sets it up for Dale J, and it makes Dale J don't have to make a big play, just make the right play.
Yeah, and that's big. Earlier in the week, this week, I was in the Student Services building, and I saw one of you big old linemen, and then was hanging out, but they were there, and they were talking to, I guess it was either one of your receivers or one of your backs or someone like that. In other words, it wasn't just your O-lineman talking to O-lineman. That is huge, in my opinion, because, they were talking in a way of just team bonding, and that is huge, in my opinion. Talk about that, because you got those O-linemen, you talk about they don't get a lot of the name calling,
That's right.
all of that, but your team has seemed to have gelled and bonded together very well.
They have, and that comes with off the field too, our team bonding sessions, and the team has taken that over. If you go down to the restaurant in Tupelo, you're usually going to find the offensive line there, but beside them, you're going to see that little running back or that receiver. So that's something the team has just done together, that they really are a brotherhood, and they love each other. If you see when those receivers catch that touchdown, our center, he beats everybody down there. He want to be the first one down there, and that says a lot about them, their relationship. And on the defense side of the ball, it's the same. When we catch a pick or we catch a fumble or anything happen big on defense, they go over there and pick each other up, and that's something you got to have, to try to win this thing.
Coach, tonight is the last scheduled home game for right now, and I know you've been very proud and pleased with our crowd. Talk to our fans right now what you want to see tonight from our fans.
I want to see a packed house. This is a huge night for our program. We're ready to take that next step. So I want everybody to be here to witness this. Our guys have done a really good job this season. So I look forward to seeing everybody. The players are ready to play. We're ready to bring that W home.
And speaking of that and bringing the W home, let's talk about some keys here. What do you feel offensively y'all need to do, defensively y'all need to do, or just overall keys to victory tonight to beat these Northeast Tigers?
On the offensive side of the ball, we got to run the football. We say it every week, but it's the truth. We got to run the football. We have told Dale J, take what they give you in the passing game. You can't get bored and try to take that big shot. It'll be there. Just trust the run game, trust the quick game. On the defensive side of the ball, we need turnovers. We have gotten one in the last 3 weeks, and we have put it in the end zone. We need a touchdown on the defensive side of the football. We got to score. Special teams, Eli, we need you to be ready, and we need another Holidays touchdown. So I don't know who is going to be on special teams, but I'm looking forward to one of those guys stepping up.
I agree, and that was big, and of course tonight's like I say, big night, and a lot of good things going on. There'll be some recognitions too. Correct. Some sophomores on the field as well for some band and cheer as well. So big night tonight too at Eaton Field. But I want to say this too. We've talked about the officiating, and your Red Hulk really came out last week a lot in the box. So did Adams, B.A.
Yeah,
Gore. I mean, y'all embarrassed me.
Well, I apologize. I got a little
It takes a
fired
lot
up
to
there.
embarrass me.
I know it. I got a little fired up there, and Adam even got some texts from some important people. And his mom texted him, and
Oh, no.
some other people I won't mention names said that you need to just kind of calm down, and Adam did. So, I have to say this. Brad always keeps us cool, so he makes sure I'm behaving. So we're trying to behave tonight.
I might be poking him with a stick a little bit, though, too, trying to get Mr. Ingham fired up. I like doing that. So it was a high-intensity game, but we enjoyed it, and that's what we love, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we start out sometimes, you know, like I say, with points last week, and then, man, when we come back, I'm talking about we fire back up. And I will say this, and I think I told you this after last week's game. I don't know what you do at halftime to say, but if you're not bottling up those speeches and writing them in a book, because I'm going to tell you, whatever it is, we're a different team that comes out in the second half. You need to be bottling those speeches up.
And let me tell you this, we try to be professional up there, but when we took a big lead there, we're high-fiving up there while we're talking. So, my redneck come on out a little bit.
Well, Coach, we are looking forward to tonight. We really are. Big matchup. Again, two games left in the regular season. This is the last home game. And then, of course, we're going to focus on tonight, get the big win, get the big W, and then we'll talk about next week. But good luck tonight with you and your players. Again, as I say, I always appreciate everything that you do, you and your guys, and those players out there all the way around, and the efforts that y'all are putting into this season. And what a season it's been so far. Let's continue that and get the big W tonight, Coach.
Yes, sir. Want to be 1-0 at the end of the night.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll Tribe.
Are you in the market for a new or used vehicle? Look no further than Metro Ford. We have an incredible selection of F-150s, Explorers, Broncos, and so much more. Whether you're looking for a rugged truck for the job site or a family-friendly SUV, our expert team is here to help you find the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle and budget. And with our streamlined financing process, getting behind the wheel of your dream car has never been easier. Stop by today and experience the Metro Ford difference. We're conveniently located at 1000 Barnes Crossing Road in Tupelo. Online at MetroFordAutoSales.com. That's MetroFordAutoSales.com.